Heather Gray, the Lyme boss here. I'm a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner and bioenergetic practitioner. And maybe you feel like crap. And that's why you need to listen to these high-level experts that I have on my show every week, whether it's Lyme disease, mold toxicity, autoimmune, mental health issues, weight, cancer, you fill in the blank. I guarantee you will find something inspiring, entertaining, something that'll give you hope, practical advice that you can take home at the end of every episode. I highly thank you for joining us, and you're going to just love this next guest. This podcast today is near and dear to my heart because we've got a very special guest, and the charity that I've decided that I'm going to be giving to solely for this next year. So they're my charity of choice. But I just absolutely love this woman's heart and love what she's doing in the world of Lyme disease. And so let's welcome Jessica Snajder with Partner in Lyme to the show today. Yay!
Thank you for
Thanks for
having
joining
me.
us, Jessica.
Thank you for having me. I've been looking forward to this for so long.
Yeah, we kept hitting and missing, and then there was almost another hit and a miss this morning. I was like, no, 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 we gotta make this happen. So, yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself and your Lyme journey.
Yeah, my Lyme journey came as a result of COVID. I had COVID in actually 2 years ago, right now. I was dealing with classic COVID. My whole family was down for 2 weeks, and everyone kind of got back up and dusted themselves off and moved on, except for me. And I had the classic long COVID symptoms, brain fog, problems recalling words, memory issues, some joint pain, extreme fatigue. And I knew my daughter was already diagnosed at Lyme at that point. So I knew that this looked and sounded an awful lot like Lyme. And for fun, I put it on my Facebook page and I said, hey, if someone came to you with this list of symptoms, what would you say? And everyone was like, get a Lyme test, get a Lyme test. I already had the Lyme test done. I knew that that's what I was dealing with. So it did come back. Positive for Lyme and mycoplasma and a couple other things. So I was able to get in treatment quickly. So I went from being sick to getting treatment to investing a year of my life hardcore, changing my patterns, my behaviors, my interests. I just revamped my whole life for a year. And you were a huge part of that. Your podcast and the teachings from the practitioners that you have on were invaluable to me. I would walk the beach every morning with my headphones in and just listen to one of your guests and take away the teaching that applied to my life and my story, implemented it, met with you a few times. And, the result is I am so much better than I was a year ago at this time, certainly 2 years ago at this time. And I feel like I'm ready to walk into the next stage of my life, honestly, healthier than I have ever been. And that's as a 52-year-old woman. Sad to say, but a great realization to know that I can walk into this next stage of life really having the tools that I need to stay healthy.
That's amazing. Isn't it funny? I was just thinking about this morning. I was like, geez, I wish I had these tools back in my 20s. Like, oh, what I could have done. But
Yeah.
it's great because I mean, age is just a number, and yeah, it's a little different when you look in the mirror, you see a couple gray hairs, there's a couple things sagging where it didn't belong before. But for the most part, like I feel better, have more energy, my brain works than it ever has in my life at, 45. So it's never too late, right?
Amen.
Absolutely. And you have a couple, your daughters both have Lyme as well, correct?
Correct. Yes, there's the three of us are diagnosed. I have to wonder if I passed it to them because it would explain a lot of things in their childhood that were written off as other things or dismissed as just part of growing up, like growing pains. Now looking back, I think if I had known more then, I would have looked at more then. But now we know what we're dealing with. We each are impacted differently. So our plans and course of action are all a little individual, as is the case with most people with Lyme. There's no blanket protocol or magic pill that's going to take this away. We have to actually do the work and address the symptoms that each one of us faces. So we're all doing that, and we're all, at different stages of healing.
Amen. And I love how much you brought into the lifestyle piece because that's like the one thing I'm screaming at the top of the mountains. And actually, I think I took it as a compliment. You're like, I learned a lot from you, but I didn't learn anything about Lyme disease from you. And I was like, that's great because I actually don't want to focus on treatment. I don't want to focus on Lyme because it's these lifestyle pieces, right? That once laid down that foundation, that's where a lot of people, because then it doesn't matter whether it's Lyme or it's
Exactly.
COVID or it's the next boogeyman coming down the path, right? You have your toolbox, you have your foundation set. So I mean, I thought it was funny when you told me that because when you brand yourself as the Lyme boss, right? And then you're really not talking about Lyme disease and it could be kind of a funny place to be, but there's a method to my madness.
Oh, I totally get it. And I love that you have spoken. You and I are both in the community. We're both on the Facebook groups. We see what people are posting and asking. And you've mentioned it over and over and over again, how people are looking for the cure. Just today, someone asked me, how did you heal? And I said, I can share with you how I healed. But we know if you're chasing the protocol, if you're chasing that supplement or that antibiotic, you may feel better temporarily, but foundationally, you are not well. And it's going to be something else, if not Lyme reappearing. Your immune system's not strong enough to take the next hit that life is going to throw at you. So I love that you say, don't chase that. Don't throw supplements. Don't throw antibiotics at the problem. Really take the time, invest in yourself because we are worth investing in. And I think as women, especially, you preach that. And I am here to echo that. Like we are worth it. And to take that time out of my life and dive deep into what do I like? What do I dislike? What's worth keeping in my life? What's can be thrown away? How do I just I look at it like your diet. Like your diet is so much more than just what you're putting in your mouth. It's what you're listening to, what you're looking at, how you're feeling. Anything that's affecting your systems is part of your diet. So for me to take that year and just invest in that it was a gift to myself. And I think I will forever be appreciative of my family for letting me do that and prioritize myself. And learn and discover so much because we're constantly evolving. And like you said, age is just a number, and each stage that we go through has so many opportunities for beautiful things to enter into our life and to cleanse all the things that are no longer serving us.
Amen. And as women especially, with us having a higher percentage of Lyme disease, a higher risk for autoimmune, and a lot of that is because we're not taught to put ourselves first. We were taught to give and give and give and give, until there's nothing left. And we need to turn that around. I laughed at that Barbie movie. I actually was like really against seeing it until somebody told me kind of what it was about. And it was so liberating and refreshing to actually see that on screen of talking about this weight that women have carried for so long and what really needs to happen in order for real change to happen. And so it starts with you, ladies.
Yes.
And it starts with, listening to things like this and really prioritizing yourself first because you can get better. And it's an amazing at what a better mother, partner, class parent that you can be when your cup is filled. So don't think it's selfish. This is a great place. We're going to stop for a real quick commercial break. And then when we come back, we'll dive deeper into her amazing nonprofit that she started up. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
There's a new word for wellness, Nikki. Nikki, the bioenergetic wearable designed to help you feel better and perform better. Other wearables just track how you're doing. Nikki is about helping you do better. Nikki takes bioenergetic frequency science to a new level and onto your wrist. Nikki technology carries frequencies into the body to organize and optimize the cellular network, the trillions of cells that communicate by light and frequencies to keep us alive and feeling our best. Physical and mental trauma can upset cellular communication, and Nikki is designed to help restore it. Touch the Nikki screen to choose the frequency you want for what you want to do and how you want to feel. Low energy? Touch energy for a boost. Stressed out? Stress and anxiety is to calm you down. Aches and pains? Choose Nikki Pain. Nikki has frequency sets intended to fight allergies, strengthen immunity, and keep viruses and bacteria at bay. If you're going on a trip and want to arrive fresh and ready to enjoy your vacation, touch travel. And if you want to wake up ready to go, Nikki Nighttime is for overcoming daytime trauma while you sleep. Every Nikki comes loaded with a full inventory of frequency set, including pain, energy, travel, immune, stress and anxiety, viruses and bacteria, allergies, insomnia, daytime bundles, nighttime bundles. Nikki puts a personal wellness center in your hands and on your wrist.
Make sure to go to my website, thelymeboss.com, and you'll find Nikki on the resource section. Make sure to use the Lyme Boss for a 10% off discount. Stay tuned. Hey there. I used to not be able to drink coffee. I always reacted to it horribly. It hurt my stomach. It made me over jittery and would inflame me and cause histamine issues. But not anymore. Not that since I started drinking Danger Coffee by Dave Asprey. It's his next level of coffees. He came out with Bulletproof, and now this is the next level up. So it is mold-free, toxin-free, and he infuses it with minerals and electrolytes. So unlike other coffees, they can actually pull minerals and electrolytes from your system because it's too acidic. It actually helps replenish those. And so I don't react to it at all. I get to have my Bulletproof coffee with my MCC oil and my grass-fed butter, and I don't get the jitters, I don't get the crashes, and I love how focused and energized it makes me feel. Again, non-toxic, mold-free, infused with minerals and electrolytes. I absolutely love Danger Coffee. Make sure to check out my website, thelymeboss.com. Go to the resource section and get yours. Welcome back, everybody. And I love Dr. Rawls's product. I know Jessica and I are both huge fans of Dr. Rawls, and it was that protocol that really helped turn her, health stuff around. And I'm such a huge fan because, again, he's also talking about lifestyle and mindset and all these other things, not just focusing on the treatment. So big fan of Dr. Rawls. But let's dive deeper into Partner in Lyme and where did that come about and why and who do you serve and all the fun stuff.
Sure. Partner in Lyme was born in 2020, and it came as a result of several interactions that I had with parents, actually, because my daughter was diagnosed when she was 18 after chasing the wrong diagnosis for about a year and a half. She presented with classic concussion symptoms after she had been snowboarding. So even though it didn't make sense, she didn't hit her head, she didn't fall, the symptoms came on that night. And so we thought, well, it sure looks just like a concussion. So we went to the specialists, we went to the neurologists. She was on getting better, took her to a random doctor and said, just look at my kid. Like, can you find anything? And I'm in Connecticut, and this doctor happened to tag on a Western blot Lyme test to every physical that he does. So I got the blood work back and I looked at it, and she had 3 bands positive, but the doctor sent a standard form letter saying blood work is fine, no follow-up needed. And so I said, well, this is honestly crap because there's 3 bands here. I knew nothing really about the intricacies of Lyme, but common sense told me if 3 bands are showing positive marks, well, something's going on. Plus, there was a whole host of other red flags on her blood work, and I was pissed. And because she was 18, even though I had signed off and she had signed off to allow me to participate in her healthcare, they would not talk to me. So I couldn't get any information. She was so sick at the time, she couldn't really advocate for herself. So I took it to our naturopathic doctor and I said, would you sit down with me and go through this line by line and help me understand? And so she did. We got IGeneX testing done, confirmed what she was dealing with. I finally got a hold of someone at the doctor's office and I said, it's really a shame that you let a really sick kid walk out of your office and tell her that she's fine. Because had she not had someone advocating for her, being her partner, then she would still be chasing.
You did that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
I did. And I'm glad that some time had passed because I really try my hardest to be intentional and not reactional. So it gave me time as a mom, like to calm myself down and not be so angry because I would have presented that information out of anger, but I was able to do it hopefully out of a heart of educating and planting a seed that, the CDC is not really our friend in this. I had already learned that in a couple short weeks that it took us to figure out what was going on with her. So the idea of having partners in our journey became very evident to me. And I don't care if it's Lyme, no matter what chronic. I mean, a lot of our conversations, you can just take Lyme out and insert anything chronic. You need a partner. You need someone to go with you to ask the questions when your brain is just not functioning properly. You need to dissect the information, help make your protocols, put a plan in place. And then, especially for kids and young adults, you need someone to actually walk through that with you. On the days that you're too sick to get off the couch, I would bring her supplements. So I literally was her partner. And I said, there needs to be this partnership. And then I was on the Parents of Kids with Lyme Facebook group, which is huge. I think it's up to 8,000 people. It's in an international group. Someone had posted that they didn't know how to get a wheelchair for their child who was newly diagnosed with mobility issues. And I said, oh, I wish you were in Connecticut because I have a wheelchair. I bought one for Grace. She never really wanted to use it. So it was sitting there. I said, I would give it to you. Where are you? And she said, I'm in Connecticut. And I said, well, that's not a coincidence. So we met at a coffee shop. I met her daughter. We sat, we had a meal together, and we talked, and we discussed how, again, the need for partnering between parents or people that are in the community. It's a need. I have something that I didn't need. It was able to benefit her child. So that's where the idea, the name Partner in Lyme came. I walked out of that meeting with her and I said, we need to form a partner for Lyme. And then I said, oh, Partner in Lyme. And then the number 1,000 just kept coming to me in different areas. I was able to start Partner in Lyme because I sold our sauna, which I bought for my daughter. And at the time, we didn't realize it threw massive hexes for her. She couldn't use a sauna. And so it was sitting. So I threw it on Marketplace. No one wanted it. When I had the idea for Partner in Lyme, I said, I'll call a tax advisor, figure out how to start a nonprofit. My background is in education, not nonprofit work or advocacy. So he said, I can do it for you for $1,000. Money for us was tight at the time. My husband was in between a layoff. And I said, okay, literally, I said, God, if you want this work to be done, you need to give me $1,000. Within a half hour, Facebook Marketplace dinged with someone in my neighborhood looking for a sauna for her son who had MS. Said, can I come and see it today? And if I like it, will you take $1,000? And I said, yes, I will.
Oh.
She came, this was on a Friday. She came, took the sauna, gave me the $1,000. The very next day on a Saturday, I was sitting with my husband at the tax advisor's office at 9 o'clock, filling out all the paperwork to create Partner in Lyme. And we decided to do $1,000. We know that $1,000 is not going to comprehensively treat Lyme. It will not even scratch the surface, but it allows people access to that practitioner that they're desperate to see, or the blood work that they're really waiting to have, or the services, the massage therapy or a sauna, or whatever it is that they've been pushing off because money is really tight when you're self-financing a chronic illness. This allows them to get through that crisis. And I had my own $1,000 crisis when I went to get my daughter's antibiotics. And I didn't think there was going to be a gap of insurance when my husband was laid off, but there was. So they said, well, it's not covered. You don't have insurance. And I kind of panicked because this was news to me. I thought it was seamless. In the past, I would have said, just what's my out-of-pocket fee? I'll pay it. And they said, well, it's going to be $990. And I teared up. Like I just teared up in the pharmacy, and it was an independent family-run pharmacy. So they let me tear up, and they were so compassionate. And I said, let me go to the car, figure this out. Called my husband, figured out the insurance thing, but went back in and they said, let us do this. Let us partner with you. Let us fill it for a few days. It'll only be a $50 out-of-pocket pay. Then when you straighten this all out, we'll fill the balance of her. And I said, that's perfect. So that was just confirmation that $1,000 Partner in Lyme, started work, got our 501c3 in March of 2020 when the world was shutting down, converted everything over to online, and it has grown and flourished and developed through the pandemic. And now that we're past that, great things are just starting to come into this little organization, and we're starting to affect people in the Connecticut community, but now really outside of Connecticut as well. And it's exciting, and it's humbling and gratifying and something I never thought I would be doing at this stage of my life, but now I can't imagine doing anything else.
That's incredible. Do you ever plan on expanding out of Connecticut? Because I know, and I absolutely love what you're doing and I love you, and that's why I've chosen this, but it sometimes can be kind of hard with the people that I work with, and I'm in Colorado. So do you ever plan on expanding out?
We've done some things like for Lyme Awareness Month last May. I saw it from all the groups. I said, who needs a card? Who needs a greeting card? Who needs a letter of hope and a support? And they just poured in. And so I sent cards to anyone that wanted one. I sent them to Canada, across the country. It was awesome. I had some teen volunteers help me with it. And it was just this wonderfully fun project. In terms of financing and giving financial assistance, right now, our budget doesn't allow us to do that. So when we created it, because we're very small and family run, we thought it would make sense to stay in our own local community. My dream would be to have chapter sites in different states, but we are not fiscally ready for that. And as an organization, we don't have staff to support that, but that would be an amazing thing if, let's say Colorado, someone wanted to start a Partner in Lyme chapter there and fundraise and then give that money to the people in the Colorado community who are battling Lyme, because it's needed. There's a need for more organizations. There's several of us, each working in different capacities, but there's not enough doing financial assistance to help offset the costs of this disease.
Absolutely, 110%. A question a little off topic here. That piece behind you is very colorful, vibrant. What is that?
Oh, my kids are artists, and I have one who's a painter and one who's a photographer. And it's been very eye-opening to me how many people have turned to art as a type of therapy to get them through their illnesses. Just this past week, I was at a mental health event run by an amazing company, a for-profit called Here For You Clothing. And they gathered this group of young people together and just talked about mental health, like a real honest, hard conversation. And so many of them were saying that art has got them through their dark times. So we always do auctions. That's how we raise the bulk of our finances. We auction off art. And so my daughter's always creating. So that's a piece that she had made about a year and a half ago, I think.
Gotcha. Very cool. Yeah, there's a lot going on. And I was like trying to figure it out. And I was like, oh, that's a very interesting piece. Where'd you get that? So
Yeah, she's
very
a
cool.
maximalist. She's not a minimalist in any area of her life. So, from the gold foil to the spray paint to collage, like she just throws it all up on a board. And I'm always amazed at what she comes out with, because I see her vision, but I don't know how she gets it from the conception to actual finished product. I mean, that's the mark of an artist, because it's amazing to watch.
That's absolutely incredible. So we're getting ready to wrap up. Is there any last little nuggets that you want to leave for folks, and also kind of tell them where they can donate themselves?
Absolutely. Partnerinlyme.org is our website. We're on social media, Instagram and Facebook, Partner in Lyme. I am always doing, small fundraisers in the lead up to our larger online auction. We've toyed with the idea of doing things in person, but actually most of our donors and our larger donors and key supporters are not in Connecticut. They're from different states. We have supporters in Florida, in Texas, in Illinois. And so keeping things online has been really great for us, because it creates that partnership between people that support our mission that don't necessarily reside in Connecticut. So definitely, follow the work that we're doing there. And I'm just really excited for what 2024 will bring. We're hoping to do our first Lyme walk, because there's not a lot of events geared around the Lyme community where teams can be formed and people can walk in support of family members that may not be able to walk in support of themselves. Other diseases have that kind of naturally built in. You step into a community when you have a certain diagnosis, but with Lyme, you don't really step into a community. You have to seek it out and you have to almost build it. So that's my key word for 2024 is community. I feel really strongly called to build connected communities. And I welcome the support from volunteers, from donors, from supporters. As you and I know, a comment, a like, a share goes a long way when we're trying to build connected communities, especially online.
Absolutely. That was so awesome. I didn't even know the whole story of how it started. Like that's just incredible. You gave me goosebumps several times. And so I always know that's a good mark of a show by how many times I get goosebumps. So appreciate you so much for showing up, Jessica. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I'm excited to continue to, like I said, focus my energies and like I said, have you guys be my designated charity of choice for the next year and see what kind of magic we could make this year.
Well, I am grateful for you and I'm grateful for your partnership and that support of our organization. And personally, I just want to thank you for investing the time that it takes to put a podcast like this together. It's not lost on me the effort that you go to create really valuable content. And I'm always sharing you as one of the key podcasters who is really diving deep into the world of wellness and foundational health. And it's a needed voice in our community. And you have blessed me and you will continue to bless me. And I'm just very, very grateful for you and for your friendship.
You're making me blush, Jessica. Anywho, on that note, hey, make sure to stay tuned and have a healthy day. Thanks again. Make sure to share the love, like, subscribe, and share. This information is potentially life-saving. Don't keep it to yourself. Make sure to help spread this message. And if you want to experience less pain, have a brain that works, and have more energy, it starts in the kitchen. Download my free 8-video cooking series, Real Cooking for Real Life. No more excuses. Take charge of your health. Start with the free video series at www.thelymeboss.com. That's LYME. Thank you. Have a blessed day.